today I want to share with you guys how the Lord took a homeless drug addict, picked him up out of the mire, washed him, and gave him life. That was me. And anyway, look, this is my part of my story or testimony, however you want to look at it. When I was a young man, in my pre-teens and in my teens, a youth, I got into partying. Man, I got hooked up with some people, and we all partied all the time, and drank a lot, did a lot of drugs, smoked some pot, little bit by little bit. I don't know how it happened, but I got so bad on the stuff, I wound up hooked on cocaine. I mean, hooked on it. Drug addict. And look, back then, way back then, I was smoking the stuff, smoking coke. We didn't even know it was called crack. And but anyway, look, it got so bad, my parents kicked me out of the house at a young age. I'm pretty sure I was 16 years old. Went to bed one night. The next day was my 17th birthday. And I'd gotten pretty bad off on drugs. Ain't no doubt about it. Living just a crazy, out of control, rebellious life. Okay. And my parents had enough of it. And I don't blame them. But I woke up, went to bed when I was 16. I woke up on what would have been my 17th birthday, and I found that my closet was totally empty. My dresser drawers were wide open. There was a change of clothes sitting on top of the dresser, and my shoes beside them. I woke up and got dressed, walked down the hall thinking, what is going on here? As soon as I rounded the corner of that hall, my mom pointed at the street and said, get out, and don't you ever come back. So I literally left with the clothes on my back. I didn't have a job, didn't have no money. All I had was a habit, okay? And I did have a pickup truck my dad gave me. My dad gave me a pickup truck, and I slept in that truck. And I lived in that truck. Me and my bird Louie. I brought my bird Louie with me, you know. Couldn't leave him there. He was packed up at the front door too, ready to go. But anyway, look, things got so. I better put my defroster on. Hold on a minute. Windows is fogging up on me. Things got so bad. I really didn't want to live anymore. You know, I mean, I didn't know how to make it in life. The only time I was happy was when I was high. So that's all I tried to do was stay high or get high. I mean, it got so bad, I found myself walking around in the sand dunes of the Mojave Desert, of all places, on a bad acid trip. Okay, look, and I'm going to fast forward. I don't have time to go through every detail and everything. That's another story. But the way how God took me out of a deep pit and stood me on my feet and washed me off and said, "Live." That's my story. Okay, that's my story. And look, from the Mojave Desert, walking around in the sand dunes, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I found myself a few years later at a small school of evangelism. Yeah, seeking the Lord with all my heart. And I'll back up just a little bit. I wound up, my sister found me, my oldest sister, and she told me, hey, come live with me. You know, I really didn't have a place to live. I'd mooch off of friends, I'd live in parking lots, I'd stay wherever I could stay. You know, I ate out of people's refrigerators when they were asleep, ate out of the trash can, whatever. You know, my sister had compassion on me and said, hey, come stay with us. So I moved up there to Illinois where she lived, in a different state. And anyway, I was a security guard, a part-time security guard, and I was really evaluating my life. And I was really thinking about, what is the meaning of life? You know, it can't be just drag along, high on dope, hiding my pain. I didn't want to live anymore. My sister, I'm a burden on her. I love my sister. And anyway, I didn't really know how to make it on my own. I didn't. You know, I left at a young age, penniless. It took me a few years to get to where I was at, where I was looking at my life. Here I am, sitting in a warehouse, a security guard, all by myself, and I was reading a Bible. Some old boy gave me a Bible. It was a Christian Motorcycle Association Bible. Guy was a biker who gave me a Bible. You know, so hey, so I was looking in the Bible and trying to find God. And every night, this old boy came into the warehouse, and he was some kind of religion, you know. And I admired him because he'd always come and talk to me about God and how that the Lord could forgive me and save me and give me a life, you know. So I thought, well, he's right, you know, he's right. But I don't know anything about that. I'm a crazy, homeless, well, I'm living with my sister now, but drug addict, out of control person who ain't got a clue. I ain't got a clue. You know, and I began to seek the Lord. I began to read the Bible and start talking to God. And I found myself at night wandering around the streets in Illinois, and I'd walk up to different churches at night. I'd go to a Baptist church. I'd walk up the steps and I'd sit at the front door of the church in the middle of the night, and I would talk to God. I would say, Lord, is this what you want me to be? Am I to be a Baptist guy or go to a Catholic church? All kind of churches. Lord, there's so many different religions out there. What is the right way? I don't know the way. I don't know what you expect of me, but I know that I have to trust in you, God, because if what these people are telling me ain't true, I'm just going to end it. I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to drink some poison. I'm going to shoot myself in the head. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of living. My life was just sorrow upon sorrow, and it just stank. Okay, it really did. And people that have drug addictions know exactly what I'm talking about. It ain't no fun. You know, you hate the very thing that you're in bondage to. But anyway, so I'm walking around the churches at night, expecting the Lord. I'm driving in traffic here, so I gotta kind of watch out. But I'm driving around in the middle of the night, walking around to these churches, and wanting the Lord to. Let me let this motorcycle guy get out of the way. Okay, I'm talking to the Lord, you know, saying, Lord, what am I supposed to be? And you know, of course, I didn't get an answer. I was seeking, though. I was asking him. I was wanting to know. what do you want me to do? What do I got to do? What do I got to do, Lord? And, well, at the time, my sister's little boy, which is my nephew, which I love very dearly, who knows and loves the Lord also. And so does my sister. But at the time, my sister didn't either, and I didn't know. And my nephew was a little baby, okay? My nephew was born with a rare disease. His little skull, it was fused together like an adult. When you're a baby, everybody has a soft spot, and it's because your skull is not fused together. Okay, that way when your brain grows and your head grows, it's able. Your skull is able to give a little bit until your brain is fully grown into the size that it's supposed to be, and then when you're a young adult, probably in your teens, I don't know exactly when, your skull actually fuses together and it becomes one solid bone. Well, my nephew was born without a soft spot. Okay, his little skull was already fused together. So, needless to say, that as he grew up, and it wouldn't take very long, 2 or 3 years, his brain would grow, but his skull wouldn't. So he would die a very horrible and painful death. There's a surgery that fixes this, okay? And there's not very many cases that's it, people this has even happened to, okay? It's a very rare disease. And anyway, my sister had already made an appointment through some specialist in St. Louis, and they were gonna take Adam's case for free, they pro bono or whatever you call it. And they knew what to do. They was gonna go in and crack his little skull and put a steel plate over the crack that they made. So give him a soft spot. So when his brain grew, his little skull could also grow with it. And then after so many years, they put another plate in. And when he became a young adult, well, they put a permanent plate in. That way his brain would, your skull protects your brains, okay? Well, anyway, so my sister is dealing with that. And her life wasn't all that fun. She was married to a biker, okay? He was the toughest, meanest son of a gun you ever met in your life. He looked like Chuck Norris, and he was just as bad. He could whip 20 people.